All right, welcome back everyone for another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about something I think pretty much everybody struggles with at some point or another, and that's getting a good night's sleep.
Yeah, it's so essential, isn't it?
It really is, and it impacts just, every aspect of our lives. And, you've sent over some really interesting excerpts about natural sleep tips. And I'm really curious, can we unlock the secrets to better sleep without relying on, medication or anything like that?
Well, I think you'll be surprised by the amount of power we have over our sleep. Just by tweaking a few things, we can really improve our sleep quality.
Okay, I'm ready. What's the first thing that jumps out at you from, these tips,
Yeah.
Where should we start?
Well, one of the most common culprits, and it's often overlooked, is our screens.
Oh, I kind of figured you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely guilty of that, like scrolling before bed.
Yeah.
But why are screens such sleep saboteurs?
It all boils down to a hormone called melatonin. Melatonin basically tells your body that it's time to wind down for the night. But the blue light that's emitted from screens, it actually tricks your brain into thinking that it's still daytime. And that suppresses melatonin production. And that can throw off your whole sleep-wake cycle, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep.
So it's like our brains haven't caught up with our technology. We're still wired for a different time.
Exactly. For most of human history, sunset meant the end of the day, and darkness meant it was time for rest. Our bodies haven't really had time to evolve as quickly as our technology has advanced.
Makes sense. So I guess the first step then would be ditching our phones, at least an hour before bed.
It's a great starting point. Even just switching to a book or listening to some calming music an hour before bed can make a big difference. Give your brain a chance to disengage from that stimulating blue light.
I can definitely try that.
Yeah.
What other things in these tips stand out to you?
Another one, and it's a simple but effective tip, is about temperature. The ideal temperature for sleep is cooler than you might think, actually. It's around 65 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's interesting. I've definitely noticed I sleep better when it's cooler, but I never knew why.
Well, it goes back to our body's natural temperature regulation. As you fall asleep, your body temperature drops and it rises again as you wake up. And a cooler room actually helps facilitate this process, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep throughout the night.
Oh, okay. So it's like we're creating this ideal sleep environment. We're kind of mimicking what our bodies naturally want to do.
Exactly.
So far, we've got minimizing screen time, keeping the bedroom cool.
Yeah.
What else? What else do we need to know?
The next tip has to do with a consistent sleep schedule.
Yeah, that's one I've heard before, but it's something I struggle with because my weekends tend to look very different from my weekdays.
Yeah, I understand. It's tough when our schedules are in flux. But honestly, even small adjustments can make a difference. Just try to aim to go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, even on the weekends. This will help regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle, and it'll make it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed.
So even if I can't stick to it,
Yeah.
Rigidly, just trying to stay kind of consistent,
Yeah.
generally, that will be beneficial. Okay, I can get behind that. What else is in there? Anything else?
Yeah, there's one that often gets overlooked.
Oh.
And that's the power of a pre-sleep routine.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Establishing a calming routine an hour or so before bed, it can really signal to your body that it's time to unwind. This could include taking a warm bath, reading a book, or practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing, anything like that.
That makes me think about something I read recently about how our gut health can affect our sleep. Is there any truth to that?
Absolutely. The gut-brain connection is, it's fascinating. There's so much research coming out about it. And emerging evidence suggests that a healthy gut microbiome can actually really promote better sleep.
Wow. I had no idea. What's the connection there?
Well, it's complex. Essentially, the bacteria in our gut play a role in producing neurotransmitters like serotonin, which are involved in mood regulation and sleep.
That's incredible. So, paying attention to what we eat and how we take care of our gut health, that could actually be another part of this puzzle.
Definitely an area worth exploring further.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. We talked about minimizing screen time, optimizing our bedroom temperature, sticking to a consistent sleep schedule, and creating a pre-sleep routine. We even touched on the link between gut health and sleep. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think? What stands out to you as the most important takeaway for our listeners today?
I think the key is to remember that even small changes can have a really big impact. So start with one or two things that resonate with you and build from there. And pay attention to what works for your body and adapt as needed.
That's great advice. So as we're wrapping up this deep dive, I'm left wondering about something we didn't talk about. We talked about things we can control when it comes to sleep, like our habits and routines. But what about the things we can't control? Could things like noise or light pollution be impacting our sleep more than we realize? That's something to think about, right? Thanks for joining us on this sleep journey. Until next time.
See you then.